Hello everyone, Volfey here. What do you get when you use polymerization on Protection Warrior and a Priest? That's right, nothing useful. Anyway, today we are not talking about Protection Warriors yet, and especially not about Holy Priests. If you missed that video, go check it out and learn some neat facts about being one. Alas, today we are talking about Protection class and it's a Paladin, since we already covered Attribution and Holy Paladin. What is a Protection Paladin, or better known as a protadin? Protadin is the third possible spec that takes the role of tank and buffer pretty much. It relies on mitigating damage taken and doing most of its aggro through spell damage attacks. Compared to the two other tanks, Protection Paladin is a little bit inferior, but superior in fights with a lot of adds. Commonly known as AoE tanking is what Protadin excels at. It is not impossible to tank everything just like other two tanks, but not optimal. Not that protadins were actually that much used in vanilla WoW, but still Horde was missing them. With TBC and Blood Elves, protadins were highly useful in early game and will be throughout the expansion as an AoE tank. On the Alliance side, Dwarves are still OP due to their defensive ratios, and humans are still awesome as any Paladin spec. Don't be shy to play Draenei Paladins if you like them, the difference is not that big. Let's go into talents. Unlike Retribution and Holy Paladin, Protection spec offers quite a bit of flexibility, which mirrors in your playstyle, tier of content and overall role you fill in your raid setup or just dungeon party. There is no need to talk about every possible talent loadout, since the majority out of standardized are preference or just specific boss fights talents. Now, with that out of the way, here is a standard D Protection spec. It offers high survivability and sustainability with average threat output. It is characterized by Ardent Defender and Frisbee talent, the Avenger's Shield. Out of Holy Tree, you don't take anything because you don't need strength to make threat and you just greed the fact that you will be drinking after every pull. From the Retribution tree, you take only these three to improve your mana consumption and gain some more mitigation. As for AoE tanking spec, it focuses more on threat than on survivability. Still, it is something you will want in specific fights or if you are off tanking. Sometimes even main tanking, it all depends how hard boss is hitting you, or how much overgeared you are for the content. It is characterized by Sanctity Aura and Crusade. It is important to mention that having Retribution in your party allows you to take that point out and put it somewhere else. But as I said earlier, there are tons of different specs, so create your own following one of these two. Now for stats. I won't crunch down numbers for you because tanking as a paladin means balancing a lot of stats and a lot of gear pieces for different fights, so let's just go over stat priority. Get defense capped as soon as possible, of course. You have it harder compared to feral since resilience won't help you at all. For a cap you need about 490 altogether. Follow up on it by acquiring gear that has mitigation stats on it. You do need to reach uncrushability in order to tank bosses in instances. That covers dodge, parry and block chances. After that, focus on stamina, which means even gem it if necessary, since you get two talents that increase your overall stamina and you better use it to your own advantage. Reason why I prioritize this over spell power is because you can ask party to ease on DPS, but you cannot ask a boss to hit you less. Which brings us to the next priority, and that of course is spell power. Now that you are all set with survivability, time to invest into some threat as well. For early game you need to have at least 170 to 200 spell power. Easiest way to get it is the weapon. Sword will spell power and some enchantments. Armor is your last mitigation stat, but not near the top. Since you cannot really go for it, it comes on items that are being upgraded. Intellect, spell hit rating and melee hit rating come all together as last priority. Surely it is nice to have some just to keep your threat output continuous. How to tank with a protadin. I'll be honest with you, it's mostly sitting and drinking, but still it would have been worse if not for spiritual attunement. It is passive ability all paladins have and it replenishes mana based on percentage of healing received. More damage you get, more healing you need. Thus, more mana you get from your healers. Buff blessings on people before every major pull or boss fight in case some of them died. I mean, just get a pally power and keep an eye on your assigned blessings. Make sure not to have Crusader aura and also make sure you get Righteous Fury up. That's all pre-pull. Now that pull timer is counting down, consider what kind of pull it's going to be. In case you want to go all out on big trash pulls or boss fights, then rotate these. Seal, cast Frisbee or Trinket if you don't have a Frisbee spec, Avenging Wrath, Holy Shield and do Consecration at the place where you want to tank the mobs. Use your judgment on primary target. Recast Seal, recast Holy Shield, recast Consecration on cooldown. In case you're running out of mana, you can swap to Judgment of Wisdom while keeping an eye on threat and 2 low rank of consecrations. Rinse and repeat. In case you want to move a big pack of mobs out of line of sight, use your Divine Shield. As long as any other member didn't do any threat to the mobs, you will be fine to position them where you want them to be. Once again, priority spells are Holy Shield for survivability and Consecration for threat. Bear in mind that you have Exorcism and Holy Wrath in case you are tanking undead or demon mob types. This will grant you a huge amount of threat. Some of the other spells you will use while tanking are CC abilities like Hammer of Justice, also usually called Hodge, Stun, and Turn Evil, which are universal to paladins, and Righteous Defense, which is a long-range taunt of 3 mobs. Trust me, the cooldown will seem so long sometimes. There's also Cleanse and Hammer of Wrath, but the latter one is just awful to use. I would recommend due to mana inefficiency. As for which aura to use, go either with Devotion if you're tanking harder hitting mobs or bosses, and Retribution aura if you're AoE tanking, and Sanctity aura if you have it, of course. Consumables for protadin are wide in variety. Blinding Light Flask is best in slot, but Supreme Power can replace it. Also, if you're lacking defense, then you can grab Fortification as well. However, if you opt for elixirs, you can choose if you want survivability or threat. Then go for Agility or Arcane Elixir respectively as a battle elixir, and either Major Defense or Major Fortitude as defensive elixir. For food, I would recommend any kind of spell power food, but have stamina food in bags to boost survivability where it might be needed. Also, if you want to play and AoE farm lower level instances, you can go with Storm Chops. For potions, you can use many, and you should always have a few different in bags, primarily Iron Shield potions, Super Mana potions, and Free Action potions. Maybe even Health potions. But if the healer is dead, or that is almost 100% wipe. Weapon oil should be Superior Wizard Oil or Superior Mana Oil if you want to boost your MP5. Some paladins like to keep it free for Wind Fury, which isn't half bad since Wind Fury procs seals as well. Outside of meta, you can use Nightmare Seeds, Fire Blooms, and Runes to min-max. Professions, as usual, are subjective, but my suggestion would be Engineering and Enchanting for Trinket, and Super Superchargers and Ring Enchants to boost threat, plus money-making potential of it. Another alternative would be Jewel Crafting instead of Engineering, which also give you Trinket and some strong unique gems. Speaking of which, let's play some Splendor. Awesome game, by the way. Tenacious Earthstorm Diamond for meta socket, but beware to read. It requires a lot of blue gems to activate, which you will do from start a lot. Gem Stamina. Later on in phase 5 there will be a best in slot meta gem available, but then you won't gem stamina that much anyway. If you got different gear for different situations, you will gem it with spell power gems or some mixed gems that offer you upkeep on threat but also survivability. Gemming will depend on socket bonuses and tier of raiding content. So based on your loadout, current gems and stats you want to prioritize, you can pick any of these gems. Good luck! This will round up all 3 specs of Paladin. How to DPS, heal and tank with the same character even with 3 different loadouts, gear sets and consumables. If you haven't checked them out, follow the links in the description. Thank you all for watching. As always, stay safe and have fun playing the game. I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye!